I told a guy to shut up during a job interview. I was interviewing for this graphic designer position at this small marketing company downtown. The interview was going pretty well until they brought in this other candidate at the same time. Apparently, they were doing some weird group interview thing to see how we'd work together or whatever. The other guy, let's call him Brett, was one of those people who just wouldn't stop talking. Like, the interviewer would ask me a question about my portfolio, and Brett would jump in with his own answer before I could even open my mouth. At first, I tried to be polite about it, just waiting for my turn and giving awkward smiles when he'd interrupt. But then it got worse. The interviewer asked about a time I had to work under pressure, and I started telling this story about redesigning a whole campaign in 24 hours when a client changed their mind last minute. Brett literally cut me off mid-sentence and goes, "Oh, that's nothing. One time I redesigned an entire website in 6 hours while I was sick with food poisoning." I'm sitting there thinking, okay dude, this isn't a competition, but whatever. Then the interviewer asks us both to critique this poster they showed us. I'm giving my honest feedback about the color scheme and font choices, and Brett starts shaking his head like I'm completely wrong. He goes, nah, you don't get it. That's not how you do design. Let me explain the real principles here. And he just starts mansplaining basic design concepts to me, like stuff I learned in my first semester of art school. I'm looking at the interviewer, and she's got this uncomfortable expression on her face, but she's not stopping him. The final straw was when we had to do this quick design exercise. We each got 10 minutes to sketch out a logo concept for a fake coffee shop. I'm working quietly, focusing on my design, when Brett leans over and starts critiquing my work while I'm still drawing. He's like, "You might want to make that bigger, and I don't think that font works. And here, let me show you a better way." I just snapped. I turned to him and said, "Dude, can you please just shut up for like 5 seconds? This is supposed to be individual work and you've been talking nonstop for the past 30 minutes. The room went dead silent. The interviewer's eyes went wide, and Brett's face turned bright red. I immediately realized I'd probably just blown my chances at getting the job, but honestly, I was so fed up that I didn't even care anymore. Brett mumbled something about just trying to be helpful, and I said, being helpful would be letting other people finish their sentences. The interviewer cleared her throat and said we should probably wrap up the interview. As we're walking out, Brett tries to shake my hand and says something about no hard feelings. I just nodded and got out of there as fast as I could. I spent the whole drive home thinking about how I'd probably just ruined my chances at a job I actually wanted because I couldn't keep my mouth shut.